Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to TKKN and Buff Save the Universe for July 31st, 2020. I didn't go back and count all the episode numbers, so
What
next
the?
time will be our great renumbering. But,
Wow.
you know.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
also joined by my good friend. Introduce yourself.
Well, I'm even more surprised you just call me your good friend. That's 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 a step up. Wow. I
What are
think
you
that's it,
talking about?
everybody.
That was like the classic line I said that one time.
The classic line. You said that one time. Yeah, that's right. That one time. Wow. You know something? We were thinking about podcast names. You hid that in the corner, and you didn't let that come out till the time was right. That was a beautiful. I love that
Yeah, there's a
podcast
lot of
name.
brainstorming going on.
Yeah.
Celestial
Yeah.
juices, cerebral
Yeah.
juices,
Oh yeah.
psionic juices, telekinetic juices,
There's a
lots
lot
of
of
juices
juices.
going on.
Or orange juices is always good for you in the morning. And it's like, wow, this is fantastic. Yes, I am Buff Larkin, and I'm glad to take second fiddle to Tekken here when Tekken and Buff saves the universe. It does sound better than Buff and Tekken save the universe. So I'll give that. Yeah, because when the team breaks up, then you can take it now and go on like Tekken and Shimmy save the universe. See, and just it stays the same. Like nobody remembers the secondary name. It's always that first name. So we always know that. Just like with your aimless podcast, right? It was Tekken's aimless podcast, and you just get rid of the aimless and they say Tekken's podcast. You're good. So it's all perfect. Have you ever seen the sunset Tekken?
Yes.
Yeah, I went last night to my old hometown, which is right on the west coast of Ontario, and I got to see the sunset, and I got to videotape the sunset, and I got the chance to tell my daughter to get off her chat or Snapchat so she can watch the sunset, and it was a very nice, it was a wholesome experience. It was a very wholesome experience. And then when we were leaving, we tried to go get some food, and everything was closed. It was like, what the heck's that? So I had to end up eating a Dairy Queen hot dog, and that's just I'm just I'm just surprised I'm still alive, to be honest with you. Really, they I get there some people before us were having ice cream, and so the guy brought a cone, and they'd already left. And he goes, "Oh, I guess I made an extra cone." I'm going, "Are you going to give it to me then?" In my head, I'm going, "Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me." I'm mentally like I'm doing the Professor X, and I'm trying to get him to read that. Trying to get him to say, "Well, it's a free ice cream cone. Just give it to this guy if he wants. Ask me. I'll take the ice cream cone." End up not giving me the ice cream cone. I went, "Wow." That's great.
I'll
I
just
had
set
a,
it aside for myself later.
well, I had a dollar. I had a dollar. I was gonna say, hey, I'll give you a dollar for that ice cream, like that. But then they would have charged me. Said, no, we gotta charge you full price. I said, "Pfft." Then I would look like a chimp guy saying, nope, no, thank you. But anyways, the adventures of me on my vacation. No, I almost had free ice cream, Tekken. Isn't that crazy? The excitement, the excitement never ends. The excitement never ends. So I decided, because you were very nice to listen to something that I asked you to listen to, I decided to go and start watching the show Altered Carbon. Now, here's my question. Which one did you want me to watch? The anime version or the pornography? Because 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 I went with the pornography one, and it's right there at the very start, and it's like, wow, it's like I can understand why Tekken hyped up the show so much with all the hey hey and the ho hos and the nay nays.
Oh
That's for
yeah.
sure.
Oh
Yeah, all
yeah.
good.
It was
So
like definitely for adults, and it's like, yeah, Tekken's all grown up now. Yeah. The good
Tekken
stuff.
Tekken's a big boy now. That's absolutely. Now, okay, so it was the live version that you wanted me to watch.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So I'm already almost done episode one. So
What?
that's very
Almost at
good.
episode one.
Yeah. I just started watching about an hour before we got on. I had an hour and a half to kill. So I said, you know something, I better go watch this so I can tell Tekken. And then the pornography got on. I'm like, wow, excuse me. There you go.
I wasn't expecting that either. Actually, I was like, wow, I did not. I like this
So
even more now.
yeah, woo, woo. Well, something on you was enjoying it. That's for sure. Anyway, so the story goes is, and don't spoil it for me because I have 2 seasons to watch, so I'm sure the story will fill itself out as the case might be. Is this one of those? Is he like well, they call him a terrorist, but he's like I would say a detective, or
He
what
is.
exactly?
He.
He's a hired hand,
Yeah.
and and in theory he's a bad
You
guy,
mean like
but I'm
what
sure
is his
he's
job, or like what do you
yeah.
mean?
What was he before? He
Oh, what
was
was he before? He. You'll find out.
yeah, oh good
You'll
because
find out.
pretty much they were saying well from what I see the first episode he's kind of like a uh, ultimate warrior if you will. He's a guy who can assimilate into any culture, learn any language real quick and all that, and then so he died 250 years ago, and they brought him back. They gave him the stack, and he's now is it like a every week it's a new mystery, or is it something that goes along in the episodes?
It's it's two because it's like one overarching main case he's working, but then as he's doing that case, he goes like through other smaller cases.
Banging chicks. That's for sure. So basically the murder mystery is trying to find out who killed this guy.
Yeah.
That's the over. Okay, good. Okay, so I thought maybe it was one of those. Okay, he was brought back by these rich people, and he was brought back to solve because he was so great in his past life that this is the only guy who can solve my murder.
Yeah.
Even though okay, good. All right,
I
and
thought that was
and
really good. I mean, that's like another reason I really liked it too, because I just like detective stories. So it's like it was just like all it hit checked all the boxes for me, and I was just like, dude, this is like even a detective story. That's awesome. Just ah.
yeah. What's the problem with women not wearing clothes in this show?
Well, dudes don't wear
Because,
clothes either. So
like, well, I'm just saying, well, telling you about that, geez Louise, for the women, like they're wearing like bed sheets over themselves, and that's it. And it's like, wow, that's interesting.
he was in
Eh,
that part of the city. He just stumbled in there. Did you get to the part? Did you get to the part when he was on drugs?
yes,
That was great. I was like, whoa, that's weird. I thought
and
that was
and they can and he can implant like a 3D thing into his eyeball, so then everything just sticks out.
yeah. I thought that was
Mhm.
like, and then like all the ads that just like popped out at him because like the advertising was just like so aggressive. I was like, man, that would be that was it was kind of like that part in like Minority Report when like all those ads are like popping up at Tom Cruise as he's going through the mall, but it's just like
Mhm.
to the nth degree of just like,
Yes.
man, that would be so annoying.
I just passed the part where he had the big gunfight in the hotel.
Oh man, that was yeah.
That was very good. Yes. So that's very good. So I will continue to watch this show, obviously, maybe sometimes on pause, and so I can thoroughly enjoy it, but or at least in slow motion, so I can enjoy it. But that's not all that's been happening in my life with vacationing. I also picked up an old game that I've actually gotten more involved in than the first time around with it, and that is Skyrim. I picked up the 1999. This is Canadian, so therefore for you it's like $1. It was the modded edition, so therefore you could add some mods into the game and blah 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 blah. So I haven't done that as of yet, but I am playing Skyrim again, and I've played it a lot further than I originally did when it was out on the PS3 for sure, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. Tekken, how much did you enjoy Skyrim during the day,
I haven't
during your
played it.
time?
I'm not a Bethesda fan. They're not. They're kind of like the what's a good analogy? Is like
Ass to toilet paper?
it's like I just
The
it.
2 ply and the 3 ply world? It's a good toilet paper. It gets the job done, but 3 ply keeps it from ripping,
I
and it's much smoother on your ass.
no. It's
Oh,
like I
okay.
guess it's like the Pepsi Coke analogy I made that one time. It's just I don't like their flavor, dude. It's just they're it's like they have their fans and like that's their thing. I'm not gonna like knock it, but it's just not for me. It's like I played Oblivion. I don't know, dude. It's just I I haven't really gotten back into their games or trying to get back into them because like when I do play or not play them, but I look at them, it's just they don't look appealing to me because I've played like so much stuff that I feel is just better, and then like it just doesn't have the appeal. And then I mean I have like Fallout 3. I want to play it because everybody's like, oh, it's amazing, blah blah. But it's like when you listen to those people talk about those games and like why they're so great, it's like they don't
Once
really talk about the main thrust of the story. It's just like look at I did this
be-
thing
because
and it's just it's just a turtles all the way down of and thens, and it's like so what's the game about? And like what do you do? It's like oh you never really get to that part. Hmm.
well, I think it's because it, they don't talk about the main thrust of the game. Is because you can go in so many different directions and spend so many hours doing something completely different than the main story. Opens up a world for you. But I will say this: once you play Witcher, it's hard to as well as well. Witcher's more of a streamlined, as in say Skyrim. You can go off on so many different tangents that it's not even funny, right? So I'm not saying one's better than the other, but when you kill somebody in Witcher, at least if you leave their bodies there, you can always come back and you see the little X's and you go, oh, I forgot. If you're too heavy on stuff, you can always come back and pick it up once you unload on things, right? But so far, it's been a very enjoyable thing. Sometimes an area where you get your ass kicked, and you say, okay, well, I have to come back to that later. There's this one guy who has a nice sword that electrocutes you when he hits you, and I go, man, I want that thing, but he keeps kicking my butt. It's like, all right, I'll come back in a couple of levels. I come back a couple of levels, he's still kicking my butt, and it's like, geez, Louise, I gotta learn how to block or something. But that's how because I'm a two-hander Tacken. I'm been very blessed by I'm using the two-handed weapons. So it's what are you laughing at? Anyway, so it's so that therefore I have to learn how to block a lot more than usual. That's for sure. Because I'm just and then I come swinging for the fences and I hit the guy and it's like he takes off like maybe a tenth of his power. I'm going, oh crap, we're in for a fight now, and it's yeah. And the worst part is that I clear out a level and I save, and I clear out a portion of the dungeon, save, and then I get to a part where okay, the door closes behind me and I can't get out. I'm like, oh boy, I thought I was stuck in that thing forever because they were kicking my butt like no tomorrow, and I beat the bad guy. Okay, so I had to go against a necromancer, and so tried it 5 times, died 5 times, and he had little spectral ghosts around him. So I had to like fight 5 people at the same time, right? So I'm chugging potions, I'm getting myself all ready, get in there, I charge, and finally I just get right at the guy, and I'm just smoking him with my double-fisted axe or hammer or whatever you want to call it, and then he dies. I go, hey, great, because I figured if he dies, then the other guys will poof too, and then I'll win, right? And nope, he changes into a spectral too, and I'm going, ah, crap, and then I die, and I'm like, frick. So I have to load up on my health and my leveling and get to chopping. That's for sure. That's my exciting story. Skyrim, fantastic game. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
I know I do own that game though, so I could like boot it up and play it, I guess. But it's just
Yeah,
there's
don't.
also like a phase I went through, and like I just was not really feeling fantasy games that are in like fantasy settings. So there's also that of just like it just after Mass Effect, dude, it's just like sci-fi. If it's not in the future, I just or modern times, just do not care. So
Oh yeah,
there's that
like
too.
like for Fallout 4. I played that. Of course, you get guns and all that, and that's in our time, Tekken, because you've been trained to be an assassin. You're used to guns and knives and all that kind of stuff, right? In your SOCOM days, your modern warfare days, you're used to shooting, and you're used to so to have a sword or an axe or like that, yeah. Something I'm going to change that. Yeah, Tekken, it must be tough for you to not be able to use guns and all that, especially in your last game. What was that last game you played, where you were samurai and ninja?
That
That must
was
have been
Ghost of
hard.
Tsushima.
Yeah, that must have been tough for you, not being able to shoot anybody.
That is, dude. That's completely different. Like that's feudal Japan, and that's like how it was back then in that time. It's a period, accurate setting and depiction
Well,
of the
just
characters.
just think this is feudal Sweden
Okay, here's also a thing, dude. Is like
with
it
lizards.
is like when you look at the Bethesda from like a Western perspective of like they've got characters that like oh, I have a sword and shield. It's like it's different. Okay, it's like that's like comparing like the knights errant to samurai in feudal Japan. That's like apples and oranges. That's completely different. It's not even the same. It's like, do they both have a code of honor? Yes, but it's like the armor's different, the culture's different, the weapons are different, the like people places are different. So it's like it's not even same.
They're both fruits.
What?
So in theory, they're the same.
That's not.
Like, if you
That's.
want to compare apples and oranges, well, they're
Oh my
both fruit.
gosh, that's probably why people use that saying. It's like, yeah, they may both be fruits, but it's like they're the apple does not have an exterior well, not exoskeleton, but like a peel a skin that needs to be peeled off before you can consume it, like an orange does. You
Are you
just
supposed
bite
to
into
peel?
it.
You're supposed to peel the orange?
Yes.
That's news to me. Anyways, so then it's like comparing apples and bananas. Then
Whatever. Fine.
you want to compare bananas and oranges? They both have peels you have to take off before you can eat them. That's like comparing bananas and oranges. Yeah, we saved the universe yet. You're thinking about it, that's for sure. Anyways,
Oh, I forget. I was gonna ask you like because I had this in mind when I made it. So it's like how do we save the universe, Buff?
with our wisdom,
No, we save it through the
with
power of our friendship. Duh,
with
like an
with with
anime.
with our guidance, with as much as we fight and we argue and all that, as much as you don't watch my videos on Facebook,
Wow.
the power of our friendship is what's going to say. Yeah, I like that. Save the universe with our friendship, absolutely. Until you move to Canada, and then you'll find much more things to do. It'll be all safe here, my friend. Don't worry. We're all wearing masks now, everywhere. If we go inside, we're wearing a mask. We're keeping it safe for you. It's just for you. It's only for you because you're an American and you're riddled with disease. Anyways, I would say, something. Here's your weekly experiment. Okay, let's do something different for our new name. I want you to at least spend one day playing Skyrim.
Okay, I can do that.
There you go. And then we will report back next time we talk and see exactly how well that went. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to do me a favor too. I don't want you to keep thinking Witcher, 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 Witcher while you're playing it, because that'll just
I
destroy the
don't compare
experience.
every game I play that's like to The Witcher, dude. It's just like whatever it is like closest to in like whatever genre I'm playing. Of like this feels like this when I play it. I will compare it to that because that's how that's how like do things when I play games now. It's like what is man like a weird like example or like analogy would be like if you've seen the 1989 or whatever year it was like Transformers G1 movie and it's like Cup and Hot Rod and every time he's like this reminds me of the Battle of Alpha 9 or like this reminds me of that one time and he always has like these throwbacks to like this reminds me of that one time except for like when they get to like the battle with Unicron he's like I've never seen anything like this before and it's like ooh but like that's
Hmm.
it's like that it's like it's like I'll play something and I'll be like what does this remind me of or what does this feel like because I had that when I was playing Last of Us 2 it's like this feels very Metal Gear Solid 5 but like without the whole like government or not government but like like political and the whole concepts and themes of all that stuff in it. It's more about survival and just brutality. there's
Yeah.
no there's no pacifism or like just try to sneak through past the guards. 'Cause you don't have to kill them. It's like no, kill everybody, because that's how it is here. I mean, you don't have to, but it's like there is no like in-game of like like description or
It
not description, but like no in-game attention paid to of like why you could do this or like why you should like not do this if like you're in
it's
a room
it,
of enemies and you could just sneak past them. It's like
it's the
yeah
difference.
you can because it's a stealth game, but it's like do you want to take vengeance and get justice? Hmm?
It's the difference between Uncharted 1 and Uncharted 2. All right, Uncharted 1, yeah, you had to kill some people. That's true. You had to, but in Uncharted 2, you had to kill everybody, and they kept coming, It was ridiculous. It was like, wow, throw more Russians at me. It was like, what the heck's going on? It's so yes, I understand exactly what that is. So I would absolutely love to see how you perform in Skyrim. Absolutely. All right. So, what else have you? Since we're talking about what you've been playing, did you do your speed round on Tsushima?
I didn't. No, I didn't speedrun it. I
Mm-hmm.
did. I kind of started a second playthrough, but then I was like, let me start this, because like when I started it, I had to change the settings to be black and white and in Japanese. So it's like I didn't want to like. I mean, yeah, it's just like the initial beginning part, but it's like I wanted to play it from like beginning to end. But it's like I started it, but then it's like I have to restart it, so I haven't gone back to it. But I did platinum trophy it, like so, and finish it. And it's a great game. Everybody should play it. It gets my high recommendation of like check it out because it's totally awesome. So yeah.
Oh, very good. So, so now you're bored with that now. So what else? So what have you turned your? That's pretty much what you were saying. It was like I did this and did that and did that to try to pique my
Well, I
interest.
did
But
everything in the
no,
game, so it's like it's like once you've done all the things.
did you
I
get your
mean,
platinum?
all that you can really do is like replay it, and it's like I have other stuff to play, so I'll come back to it whenever.
Did you get your platinum?
Yeah,
You got the platinum on that.
yeah.
Wow. Oh, and doing only one playthrough?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's why I
That's
said I was
usually.
like, oh, there's no difficulty trophy on here. Nice.
Hmm, there you go. Well, congratulations. How many platinum trophies do you have?
Like 20 and it's either 29 or 19 because it's like I'm almost at 20 or 30. I think it's 19, but I could be wrong.
Wow. What was the hardest one to get?
I could look it up right now. The hardest one to get.
You want to know how many I
Dude, I
have?
don't even remember because
I
it's like
have
I don't
I
really
have
keep track of that stuff.
I have two.
It's like I just get them.
I might have
I mean, I
three.
guess maybe Destiny because of the flawless raid, but like that's probably what it is.
The latest one I got was was it no, a little over a year
Did
ago.
you
I
say
got it on
5?
two
Oh,
or three.
I have 19.
Oh, very nice. I got Dragon Quest. I got the latest
Oh, I love
Dragon
that.
Quest Platinum, and that was worth it. I love that game, absolutely. So now that we've, like I said, extinguished that you're bored out of your nut, what's your focus on now besides Skyrim for a day? What are you? And you know something, if you like the game, play it longer than the day. If it works for you. But what are you thinking about playing now?
Okay, so here's the thing, because it's like after or like since we're still in like shelter. Oh, I'm still in shelter in place anyway because I'm not going anywhere.
No,
I had to
no.
like come up with things to occupy my time during this time. Well, I mean, not that I really needed to, but it's like when I do things, it's just the way my brain works. Is I just structure things like day to day, week to week, blah blah blah, month to month, or just like all builds up. It's like a sentence at a time. It like eventually builds into like an entire book. So, um, let's see. So August is next month. So that's when I'm reading all my X books. And it's like I know what I'm doing, but I don't know what I'm playing. And so September is I'm reading all the Walking Dead. So I know in September for sure I'll be playing Destiny because it's every September is like Destiny is like a new thing, but there's no new thing until November because it got delayed. And I haven't gotten my free T-shirt in the Age of Triumph challenge. Blah blah blah. So it's like August. I'm still like not really sure. I'm probably gonna end up playing. I don't know. It's like I'm just gonna play whatever I feel like playing. So like I don't really have it set in stone. And then in October, I think I want to go back and play The Walking Dead for like Halloween month since it's gonna be Halloween. I'll just replay. Well, not replay it because I got the I forgot what it's called, like the Essential Collection or like basically I have like the Walking Dead collection that has like all of it, and then I have like another one that has Definitive Collection or something where it's got like all of them, but like it had like a different graphic filter on top of it to like make it kind of look more like the comics. I haven't played it yet, so I'm gonna go back through and then finally finish the final season on PS4 because I only finished on PC, but then finally finish my PS4 playthrough, and then just like restart like fresh and new and like play new episode every day and just every day play The Walking Dead, which is kind of depressing because it's like it's kind of a depressing game, but like whatever, it's just and it's also kind of weird because like playing it in a pandemic, it's like the Division and like The Last of Us, like playing something that's like kind of set in a pandemic setting during a pandemic is like, oh, it's kind of weird. I mean, luckily it's not a zombie apocalypse, at least not yet. So at least there's that. But that's the plan for October and September at least. I'm not sure about next month. I think I'll just play whatever. I don't have it like I'm gonna be playing this in my brain as far as like what I'm gonna be playing. So it's like, and that's the other thing I've been doing during this time is like I've just been playing like what I feel like playing. That's how I stumbled upon The Witcher. It's like, I was like, okay, I've got all this time. I mean, I already had all this time, but it's like now I'm just stuck inside like legit permanently. So let's go to something that's going to be a nice long burn. And it was like, ooh, Witcher, I haven't played that. And then, ooh, yeah, it was a nice fun time. I do also like, there's part of me that like wants to play some Mass Effect, but it's like, dude, that's dangerous because it's like once I get into Mass Effect, it's just gets a bit obsessive.
You think? There you go. That's okay.
I mean, that's the other cool thing is like when I do stuff like this, it's just like the time just flies by. Because like that's how I had the whole like time warp experience when I played Gwent. Is like it was Monday and it was Friday, and it was like I didn't know what day it was, and it's just like if I just put like headphones on and like listen to like Spotify or SoundCloud or like music and just like crack out for like 12 hours, it just like the days just fly by. So it's like on the one hand it's a good thing, because it's like gets me through this a lot faster, and it's like just a nice easy listening fun game playing experience. But then it's like a weird I forget what that movie's called with like the drug people, but Requiem for a Dream. It's just like like you have like the scene with like the eye after they like take the first hit, and it's just like whoosh, and it's just like whoosh, and just like yeah, you just like game junkie out, and like you go to sleep, you wake up, and it's like, oh, what day is it? What month is it? And just completely lose track of time and space, and just it's a weird. Like when I did that with Gwent, dude, I was like, dude, I did it. I was like, I did the thing. I was like, yeah, I did. I just played a game, and I mean that is like I do like enjoy doing that though, like going 12 hours a day and just like cracking out. But there are downsides. Not really, but like I do, because I do enjoy it. But it's like yeah, it's just a weird lifestyle to have. So.
Oh, there you go. So
I mean, maybe I'll play Skyrim and then decide to finish it, or like play a bunch of Bethesda games and be like, oh,
no,
this is why I think they're all garbage.
Yeah, that's you see, you already have a preconceived notion, and that's my job on this podcast, to have preconceived notions. You're the open-minded guy. I'm the closed-minded one. That's what I'm supposed to be. You're not supposed to take my job from me. All right. So what you got to do is you got to approach. You're not going to approach Skyrim with a clear conscience or clear mind. You're just going to say blah and like that. Oh, what's up with this? Dragons, whoop-de-doo. I beat dragons all the time. No, if dragons, they're not trouble. They're not much trouble. I can kick their ass. No, it's you have to approach it with an open mind. Can you give me that? Can you at least give me that?
I guess, dude. Whatever. Sure. Yeah, I'll approach it with an open mind.
There you go. That's the spirit. So, now. But is there anything else in your library of unopened games that interests you, though?
That's what I was doing, actually, as I was going on my PS4's like game list, because there's like so many. That's ridiculous. And I was like, what's the next one on the list? Because initially, before Ghost of Tsushima came out, like the week before, I was going to just like have Samurai Week and play like samurai themed games. But I remember what happened. Like Monster Hunter Monster Hunter World Iceborne threw it all off. It like just completely just like came in and like whoosh. I mean, initially it did, because it's like
it did
because there was that festival in the
sounds
summer,
like that.
And like I was trying to play it. I've been playing it every day, and I was like thinking, if I'm playing this every day, I can't do my current playthrough on Thronebreaker. But then I went back to play it, and I was like, okay, well I can play this every day. But then I kind of, but that's the thing. It's like if you're playing games where you have to play them every day, it's really annoying, because it kind of f's up your schedule and like what you're playing. Because I want to play Gwent every day, so I can't play that every day if I'm playing something. Well, I can, but it's like you can only play like 3 hours or something, or like an hour or two. But it's like that's not as enjoyable as like playing it 12 hours. So it's like, I guess I just put it on the backseat and then I'll come back to it. But like that's what I did with Monster Hunter. Is like I kind of like lost my desire to grind in it, because I played it and I got through Elatrion and I was like, that was draining. And then it was like, oh, there's an event coming up. And I played it, and I was like, you know what? I don't feel like I'm just gonna do the dailies. I'm not gonna like super grind. I felt like I was gonna grind, but then I just lost my motivation and desire and drive. And I was like, I'll just play it every day to get the daily bounties. So that's what I've been doing. So And then I did go back to Thronebreaker. So it's like I'm almost done with that game. I feel like I'm almost done with that game, but like I want to stream the end of it, but my stupid computer is like, for whatever reason, not wanting to like cooperate with me. So like so when I go to stream it, it's like lately it's like 9 times out of 10 it'll work, but then it's just not cooperating. So it's like I can't get through the final part. I mean I can, but I want to have it on video, so I want to stream it and then upload it that way, as opposed to like just having a giant video chunk, because that's more of a pain. So it's like, yeah, once I get that, that's what I guess that's what I'm playing now. Is I'm playing Thronebreaker. Like that's like officially the top of my list game. But once I'm done with that, I'll like go through my PS4 game list and find another victim. So yeah.
Now, do you have Skyrim for the PS4 or do you have it for the PS3?
I have it on PC. I know I don't have it on PS3, and
Okay.
then I doubt I have it on PS4 because I don't think I bought it again because I was like, Skyrim.
Why? Why? Yeah, exactly. Why buy it again if you weren't going to play it the first time?
Well, the thing is like when it came out the first time and everyone was like gushing all over it, and it came out on Steam. I got it super cheap on a sale, and then I was like, I'll play it, whatever. But of course, I just
Yeah, life.
I did not gravitate towards that type of game. So it's like it's just been sitting there, and I'm just like, whatever. So it's just another game.
Well, that's okay. So, with no movies either, like you've been watching Netflix. So what's been interesting you on Netflix?
Oh, dude, let me tell you.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
I'm a big fan
Pornography.
of there's not pornography. At least not the
No, what
not
I
the
saw.
heavy stuff, not the good stuff on
Oh,
Netflix.
there you go.
So I'm a fan of documentaries. So I just finished watching Last Chance U, the newest season that takes place in Oakland. That was really good. And then also The Last Dance. I watched that. I actually watched that. I watched it before I watched Last Chance U, which was it's the story of the Bulls in the '90s.
Yes.
6 championships. Michael Jordan at his prime, at his peak, just destroying everybody. It was super nostalgic and just like amazing and just like wow, just as good. I would say it's as good. It's like on par with Tiger King, but like Tiger King has like the ridiculousness in it. So it's like the ridiculousness factor puts Tiger King over the top for the year. But man, effing Last Dance, dude, that was just amazing. Michael Jordan, and just like talking about that experience in the '90s of being the best, and just how competitive he is, winning at
Yep.
at any cost, and like why he is the way he is, and like what that does to you, and like when you're like the global like top person in the world of like you can go anywhere and people recognize you, and just like what that does to you, and like how it's. I thought that was a great episode, like the whole like part of like dealing with fans in the media, and just like how you can't really go outside. It's like, you know what, I never want to be famous because that would suck. There's a part like that actually in like a Lady Gaga documentary 5'3", when she's I can't remember which part it is, but there's like 2 different parts, because there's like a part when she gets to Walmart, like when her like album comes out, and she's like, where's my album, and like it's at midnight, and she's like, I want people to be able to buy my album, blah blah blah, or something weird. And then like she gets it, but there's like a ton of people that just like start swarming her, and it's like she has to get out of there. And then there's also some part when she's like going, I can't remember specifically what it is, but she's like going in between buildings, and just like in between buildings there's just like so many people, and it's just like, dude, that's too intense, that's like too much. It's like, no way, dude, like would do not want. No thank you. It's just
Well,
like,
she
crazy.
started it.
She started it.
She started and when all of a sudden when it all got crazy, went, oh, that's a little too crazy. It's like, well, you should have stayed home then. You should have waited till 12:01 when the album drops, and then you're all set. But oh no, they don't do that, do they? No. So what other so it's 8 episodes of The Last Dance,
Oh,
right?
but like okay, but then also, oh, I can't. Oh, okay, it just popped in my brain. Okay, and then also my secret favorite on Netflix is Dating Around. It's a dating show where like one person goes on like 6 dates,
No.
and it's just
No.
like a great like the camera work, dude, of how it just like transitions in between people, and it just like is seamless. It's like they're on like 6 dates, but it feels like one, and it's just like that's amazing, and just like the story of connection and people, and just like there's like this one of my favorite episodes is like there's this one old dude, and it's just like old people on dates, and it's just like I thought it was so sweet. I just like it was so it touched me in my heart. But then it was kind of depressing because I was like, this is gonna be me in the future of just like I'm like super old and like alone. But then I was like, actually not really, because I won't be going on dates at that time, because it's like I'm kind of over it, so it's whatever. I thoroughly enjoyed that though. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Also a lot of like LGBT people going on dates. I thought that was like nice representation in that. I thought that was great, and I very much enjoyed that. So yeah.
So here's my question: how old was the old dude? 45?
No, he was like I'd had to look it up, dude. He was up there. He was older than 45 because
Okay,
he had
good.
like
Because
been
I just want to
married.
make sure.
His wife had passed away, I believe, and it's just cool because it's like the cool like episode because it's like they're old people, so it's like the ageist thing, it's like you shouldn't like look down on people because they're old or whatever, because it's like they've lived through things and they have experience and like knowledge and wisdom and like this lived experience, and so
Yeah.
it's like when he was on his dates and like the stuff they talked about was like so different from like the young people. I just thought that was fascinating. I was like, man, that was amazing. That was just so fascinating. I was like, that was the coolest thing ever. Not
Have
literally,
they
but like it's up. I'd say that a lot, but like that's one of the things that was coolest thing ever. And I was just like, man, that's cool. So
have they
yeah,
ever slept in on blown up mattresses? I don't think.
that did not.
You try living like that, and then see what happens. And the one couch that you have. Try living like that. Exactly.
There's also this funny episode on the new season when like there's a professor, and then like one of his dates was like a student at the college he teaches, and he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna call HR just in case. I'm not sure if this is allowed or something, and I was like, that's hilarious. So yeah, a lot of funny moments too, because I'm gonna say anything to spoil anything, but man, some blow-ups, and I was like, whoa, because
Whoa.
I myself have never been on a bad date, so I was like, wow, that was that was tense. Um,
So you said you've been on your share of bad dates.
no, I said I've never been on a bad date.
Oh, good. Oh, well, as far as you know. Wow. Look who's talking, Mister. Sends them home happy. That's good. That's good for you, buddy.
I've like,
Absolutely.
whatever, dude. I could talk about my experience, but it's like it's depressing to me anyway. Because it's not depressing to me, but it's like you'd hear it and be like probably depressed. But it's like I'm not gonna go there. But like also,
Okay, here's my thing. All right. Say you come up to Canada.
hmm
All right. And there's a girl who's interested in you, and she comes over to the place. All right. Now, it's on a Friday night. All right. And you're getting all nice and snuggly on the couch. All right. And then you get a text from somebody saying, "Are you coming on to play everybody's golf?" What's your answer?
um,
Is it, "Hey woman, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Get out"?
I wouldn't find myself in that predicament because I would tell both parties involved beforehand. I have this obligation on Friday, and then how do they feel about that? And then I would like, depending on the answer, be like, I'm not going to be there on Friday, so I'm not going to be at golf. Or oh, this is weird and awkward, but my date said I could golf with you guys while we're on a date. So here I am. Ooh.
Okay, so here's my answer to that. Okay, hey, Buff, I'm not gonna be playing golf with you. I got at least 9 holes to play later on Friday night. So that's your answer. I'll be playing a different set of 9 holes.
Whatever. Did you ask me specifically about documentaries, or did you just like ask me about Netflix in general? Because that's like
I
two
I,
different. That's the
I
apples
asked
and oranges, dude.
I asked you what you were watching on Netflix,
Okay, cool.
and you're the documentary king, so
Because
you're telling
I was
me.
about to like go on a whole like spiel about like what I've been watching on Netflix. Um, I'm trying to remember though, because it's like for a while there, every Friday night, I was like going into like the whole when it has like the thing about love. I love, but it's like a thing. I mean, it's weird, but it's one of the things I love about Netflix is it has like these weird like very genre specific recommendations for you. So it's like action packed or like intriguing and deep. It's like it's never like sci-fi horror blah blah. I mean it is sometimes, but it's like usually it's just like a cool genre name that's like different. And so like they had like a 90s section, and I was like, what 90s movie? So it's like I had like this whole like weeks of just like watching 90s movie every Friday or Saturday night on Netflix, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna chill out here during the pandemic and like go back in time. And I watched Deep Impact, dude. It holds up. I mean, it holds up, but like
Are
it's
you
kind
sure
of
you didn't? Is this the porn version or the actual Netflix version?
it's from the 90s. Look it up.
Okay, because you just sent me on with naked hoochies on Netflix, so I wouldn't be surprised that that was the other version that you're trying to send me off to.
Whatever, dude. That's part of the cyber. Wow, that's part of the cyberpunk aesthetic, dude. Is like the whole like it's dark and gritty and seedy out there, But be a Deep Impact. Kind of like also kind of regret watching it because of the whole like extinction level event. It's like, I mean, my brain where it's at now is just like
Oh yeah, bring it
planetary
on. Right, that's your sip. Just bring it on.
planetary
I'm done.
threats. So it's like like when I think about it, and I'm like thinking about space junk, and I've seen uh, Gravity. So they have this like whole documentary on the Blu-ray if you've watched it about Kessler syndrome, I believe. And it's like if there's too much stuff in the atmosphere, and you cannot like shoot anything into space. But then I was like, what if, hypothetically speaking, that we put so much junk in the atmosphere, as far as Kessler syndrome goes, and like nothing's able to like get out, but then that basically hamstrings us from like protecting things from getting in. So if there ever is like a scenario where an asteroid or other otherworldly object like flinging or not flinging hurtling toward the planet at like a higher, well, it doesn't have to be at a high rate of speed because that's how space works, because everything moves fast in the planetary orbit anyway. um so it's like if there's an asteroid approaching, right, but like we can't deploy any type of defense or like mount any type of like defense against it because there's so much garbage and like junk in the like I'm talking about satellites essentially when I say that, because there's like so many up there. Like you can't like get anything out because it's gonna just like hit debris. It's like it basically if our atmosphere became a debris field. So it's like if that happens, we're so effed. So it's like I think we should really like slow it down on like launching stuff into space as far as like satellites around the planet, because it's like I think we're good. I think we should like work on the space junk problem. Or not space junk. I'm sorry. The Kessler syndrome, the stuff in the atmosphere that's like just up there breaking everything when it does like hit things and stuff. So it's like I think we should like do that way. If there is ever a global threat of a asteroid coming, it's not like, oh man, our greed and corporatism got us again. Oh, capitalism and all the satellites that we put up there for the multinational corporations that are just making so much money, 1%, and just don't care about anything because f the planet.
And in
Oh
the
man,
end,
what do you know?
you
We
get
can't mount a defense and we're all dead. So
well,
whoopsie.
yes, you gather a crew of 8 astronauts, you mostly construction workers. Okay, you put them on the space
You're talking
shuttle.
about Armageddon.
Yes, and then you send them off into space, and then you get the guy from Aerosmith to sing a song while they plant a nuclear device on there, and then one guy has to stay because his foot gets stuck in the rock, in the fissure, and then he blows everything up, and it's perfect.
Yeah,
So
but
you're missing that
if
whole point.
no, because if we ever get to the point that there's so much junk up there that nothing will get through to get out of orbit, then we can't mount a defense. So it's like it's indefensible because we just took away our defense system because we can't. I mean, hypothetically, you probably could if you just like put some sort of like giant exoskeleton or shell on the shuttle or something, but like it would still be like I would imagine somewhat damaged or like not be undamaged from like large pieces of debris. So it's like it's not or you can't fix that problem. I'm
We are
saying
at the
that
we
we're
are
like
at the
building.
we are at the whims of science, gravity, and something that is far outreaching any of our personal beliefs, and that is uh, one way or another, someday something's going to come and get us, or it's something's going to happen, and if it's not us doing it, it's somebody else. So you just got to enjoy life and embrace it and wear a mask and go out and have a good time, because you know something, you never know what tomorrow is. Just like I said at the start of this, I went and saw a sunset, sat down, watched a sunset along the west coast of Ontario. A beautiful place to watch a sunset. And you know something? That created a memory, and it's a memory that I'll have with myself and with my daughter and with my mom for the days that we have left before the meteor hits us. So, and
Actually,
that's
that's the other
good.
thing, dude. Is like there's a comet going around, and I haven't been able to see it because I haven't gone outside, so I'm kind of bummed out about that. I'm just like, man, there's a comet. I'm not gonna see it. It's not gonna be back for like another 1,000 years or something. But whatever. So
And the next time it comes around, it's gonna go
I mean,
right
it's
through
not
the
like I've never
planet.
seen a comet before, so it's like I'm not super sad. So it's like whatever. It's just a comet. So
That's right. Well, go on. Tell me more about what you're watching on Netflix, because
okay.
I have to.
So
There you go.
go to tangent into like another thing, which is I think we are on a golden age of streaming adaptations and one is currently out. I haven't watched it yet. Old Guard looks great. Haven't seen it, but I cannot wait to watch it. I think Buff is AFK because he has like something in his nose or something. So I guess I'll just keep going. But what I've been watching on Netflix. So recently, okay, so Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex 2045. It was good. It's not. It's not bad. I'll say it's not okay. It's good. It's solid. It's solid. It's like but it's only part one, so it kind of bummed me out because I love Ghost in the Shell. I love it, and so it's just like to see continuation of Standalone Complex. Effing finally. I mean, yeah, it's not like the traditional animation. It's 3D CGI. It's some people say it's not good. I don't really care. Or I can't I can't discern it being bad. I look at it and I go, oh, that's fine. It's not. It's like Goldilocks. It's like it's not too bad. It's not too whatever. It's not like one side or the other to me. Yeah, I look at it and I go, this is fine. So it's whatever. But yeah, I can't wait for part two. Part one was I enjoyed it. It gets weird, and I kind of like thought some of the creative choices of like the direction they went was like but I did enjoy the like economic collapse angle just because that's like one of the things about Cyberpunk is like when it's looking far into the future and like predicting things. So like that was like happening. Like I think that came out in March, and then COVID happened, and it basically just like wrecked the economy. So like here we are, wrecked economy, and it's like kind of just like in Ghost in the Shell, but yeah. But then it was like kind of cool, like in like Ghost in the Shell, like the way it was described as like why that happened is like it was like weaponized, like a weaponized economic collapse to make everybody well, not plunge into poverty, but like plunge all the government's economies to make a proliferation of war around the globe. I thought that was a very interesting concept. So that was neat because basically like the war kept the economy going because it was like a military industrial complex. So all the private militaries and just military companies and all that stuff, just like that was like the only industry that was like keep everything spinning and like everything going. So that was a neat concept. Also, it came out. I believe it came out yesterday because I watched it one day, or it came out the day before. Whatever, it came out. If it came out, it did come out yesterday. I think. Transformers: War for Cybertron trilogy, Part 1 Siege. Enjoyed it. Didn't know what to expect, but it did not. It did not fall short. So I did not not deliver it because it had like the G1 transformation sounds, which is kind of like all you need, but not all you need because the story was great. The story, man. I'm not going to say what happens, but like the themes that they talk about, dude. There's like genocide and war and just like it went there. So I was like, yes, I feel like because that's one of the things that's like kind of annoying about Transformers is like they have all these cool things, but it's like on the one hand it's like there's all these cool things that they could do, but then like in your brain it's like this will never happen because it's just like a toy property and they just want to sell toys. So it's like they're never gonna like take it to that extreme, and it's like a child's property or children's like it's like it's targeted towards children. So it's like it's never gonna go there either. But then it kind of went there, and it's like yeah, that's great. It's just like like, when they talk about but that okay. Here's the other thing. Like the one thing that kind of like annoyed me is like why I would give like a 9 out of 10 versus a 10 is like they have all these parts where it's like they talk about the Autobots and the Decepticons of like the long ago, and there's like no flashback sequences to like show like what happened back in the day, and there's a lot of I'm not gonna say what happens. There's like some cool characters if you've seen G1 that like pop up, and it's like, oh, that's cool. But it's like it would have been fantastic to have like a flashback to see like what happens. I mean, that being said, they do have like this one cool scene where they go to like this battle site, and there's just like it's basically been turned into like a memorial, like a war memorial. I thought that's cool, and it's just like so you like you do kind of get the sense of the scale of like the battles that have happened in the past, but you don't actually see them. So it's like it's kind of a bummer. So I'm looking forward to like part 2, hopefully. Doing that, but even then it's like I thought it was like cool where they end up at the end of part 1, so I'm looking forward to that because it wasn't I didn't I'm not gonna say what happens, but like man, that's great.
Oh, very good. So it's not a movie, it's an actual show,
Yeah,
or what's going on?
it's a season of episodes. It's like 10 or 6 episodes, 20 minutes long, or 20-ish
Okay.
minutes long. So very much enjoyed it.
Very good. Excellent. Something you can burn through on an afternoon.
I guess I watched it all in a day. I mean, I love binge watching Netflix. That's why I only have Netflix and like I will never get anything else because they put it all up on the same day. It's like, dude, everything else it's like, oh, we're gonna do it weekly. It's like, pff, f off, dude. Like, I'm not coming back in a week. Or I mean, I could or I would, but it's like you're on my time. It's like that. This is why the streaming is now. Is like the thing. It's like I watch it on my time, and it's like I don't have to worry about like tune in on Monday 7 Central. It's like actually I can watch it whenever the f go f yourself. So get the f out of here. So yeah, but also okay. So here's the thing about like well, I guess I'm not gonna like go into like a whole thing about it, but like when Ready Player One came out, it's like and Jumanji came out. It's like I feel like these are two very they're very grasping of like the whole gamer experience. I would say like just like they kind of get it is like what I would say because like Jumanji is very meta on that level. It has like NPCs. It's got like whole scenario, got characters, abilities, blah 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 blah. It's like very much a video game movie without being based on video game. It's like also kind of like one of the best because it's just like the quality. It's funny, blah blah blah. It's got The Rock in it, and then Kevin Hart's kind of funny too. Whatever. Some people don't like him. Whatever. And then I just like I thought the whole like gag about like the weapon valet. I thought that was great. Anyway, so Ready Player One's also on that level to me because it's just like it's in the world and like takes place. There's like a whole VR thing. It's in the world. Blah blah blah. It's great. So then I had not seen. I mean, I watched this a while ago. I'm just saying it because it's on Netflix. But like, Sword Art Online. If you've not watched it and you're of that flavor and you do enjoy that stuff, like check it out, dude. It is the best. It is the effing best. Like the first 6 episodes or 6 to 12 episodes. I forget. It's like weird. 'Cause it's like it's split into halves. So it's like you have 24 episodes and it's like part one, part two. The first 12 episodes, dude, when they are in the world and just like, because like back in the day, okay. Here's the other thing. It's like back in the day, there's a show like this, but I didn't watch it, called Dot Hack. Like there's like different versions of it, like Dot Hack Quarantine, Dot Hack, whatever. There's like three or four versions. There's like a game and a show, and like I'm not sure like how they tied it together. They actually remastered it recently. I haven't gone back to check it out, but so Sword Art Online. It's like essentially there's an MMO, but you can only play it in VR. But then it's like it's like but like it's like a neurological like thing that you like kind of it plugs into your brain. It doesn't plug into your brain, but like you go in there and like you're in the game. Essentially, it's like the interface. So it's like the scenario is I'm not gonna say what happens because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But like basically, there's a bunch of beta testers. They get trapped in the game for like a long time, which is like the other awesome part is like this is a long story, which is like why I very much enjoyed it because like if you're someone who's played a game for a long time, you could like super relate because I've played Destiny for like 5 years or something crazy at this point. It's like how have I been playing this game for this long and I hate it. But anyway,
That's true. It's true. You hate it.
so Sword Art Online is like they're playing this game, they go into the world. And then they get stuck in. But then it's like they find out if you die in the game, you die in real life. Ah, what? That was like, that was like, so like the stakes are raised, dude. It doesn't go to like just like, oh, we're in a game, whatever, man. So it's like, so I guess it's kind of like Jumanji, that was kind of like that. But like, it's Sword Art Online, dude. It's like better though, because it's dark, dude. It goes there, like, there are people dying, things happen. There's some tragic moments. It is effing intense. And like I effing loved it. It's so good. And then it ends the first part, and then like it's cool because like the main protagonist kind of gets like roped in by the government to like help them with cases that happen in like other virtual games. So it's like you have the first season, which is like a completely different game, right? 'Cause it's very fantasy MMO, and like the second season is like this like FPS battle. Well, yeah, it's FPS battle royale type game. Well, not battle royale, but it's like it's cool because it's like a different style. So it's like a different genre. I was just like so floored, like the way that they like adapted it, like the people who like work on that, like just like the translation and localization, because there's like so much like jargon, like that is like gamer jargon, and it's like it is effing accurate, it is like effing legit. Like Sword Art Online, I effing love it. It's just so good. I haven't finished it because I just haven't gotten around to it, but like I added all of it to my queues, like in everything. 'Cause it's like it's on Crunchyroll if you can like because it doesn't have like the current stuff on Netflix, but like if you go to Crunchyroll you can watch like the stuff that's out now for free, or the stuff that's like newest for free. So it's like it's cool. But then also I think it's like possibly not dubbed because I watched the subbed version on Netflix, at least the first season. So it's like I'm not sure which version is dubbed, but like eventually they end up dubbing it, whatever. But like it's great. I loved it. It's fantastic, and just whew, man.
Ooh, fantastic. Well, that's very
Have you
good.
heard of Sword Art Online, Buff?
No,
Oh, you should check it out, dude.
it's on Crunchyroll.
You would be reminded of the time you played EverQuest Online with Blacklight and be like, I'm gliding and trapped in there with her. or not just like not to say anything bad about her, but like I'm just like I'm getting trapped like online in this game where I keep getting killed by the skeletons or whatever that story is from that one time.
Yes. Oh, the great times that I got the EverQuest. Wow, look at you with your memory. It's go one night. I get on there for one night. I was gonna go from north to south, and as far as I could go. When I got to about 20 feet away from my starting point, and I died. That was nice. At least that's what it felt like, right? So because of course I'm a level 0 or whatever you want to call me. So I'm just so one hit I'm dead. So luckily Blacklight was nice enough to hang out with me for like 2 seconds, and then of course you die, and then she's still where she is, and I'm I don't know where I am. I don't know where you are. It was good times. As always with Buff Larkin, I always hype it up and everybody gets excited, and then at the end you all leave disappointed. So that's how it works. So, but anyways, so that's good. So you haven't read any comics because you were too busy. You haven't read your X-Men books?
That's next month. Also, I want to say that there was an announcement of a Witcher series that is a prequel that is in the Elf time. I believe it's going to be animated. I'm not 100% sure. It might be live action. It's whatever. Honestly, I don't care because we already know about the conjunction of the spheres. So it's like I have okay. Here's my whole feeling on this thing. It's like
Okay, how's your feeling?
or this is how I usually feel about these things. It's like
Okay.
it's like a Han Solo or or not. Wow, I said Black Lady again. Helen. A Han Solo or Black Widow situation where it's like we know what happens to these characters, so it's like we don't need to like mine the material for like more stuff. Okay, it's like it's a wrap, dude. Unless it's like a really good story of like back in the day this happened. Or like essentially, I just usually don't like prequels because you're like, what was that?
My phone went off. Sorry.
But like, I usually just don't like prequels because I already know what's happening in the future. So it's like anything that's like not in the like future versions, it's like kind of marked for death. It's like you kind of like don't think they're gonna make it through, or you won't be surprised when they don't make it through, which is why I didn't like Red Dead 2. And then it's like very few exceptions. I would say like actually the absolute one exception to that for me is like Rogue One. It's because like dude, that was such it's like to me that is like the Dirty Dozen in space that Mass Effect 2 like was. I mean, not that it didn't, but it's like I can just like load my save, so if something goes wrong, reload. Anyway, so it's like that's how I feel about the whole Netflix adapting the prequel Elf Time thing. Is like we already know what's gonna happen. It's like conjunction of spheres, and then a bunch of monsters are gonna pour through, humans are gonna pour through, or whatever's gonna pour through the portals that get created, and then that's that. It's a wrap. And then Eldarin or whatever the effing elven home planet is called, or home world. Man, that's Witcher effing 3, man. Like, there's a whole point where you get to like hop through space and time, like Siri does, but nobody ever talks about it. It's like, that was effing awesome. Like, just it does like I don't know. I played that part and I was like, dude, Witcher does not get like enough respect in my opinion because like that was effing awesome. Like that was like Ratchet and Clank PS5 demo before Ratchet and Clank did it, and it's like, I'm so glad I played it because I was like, dude, that's effing in Witcher 3. It's like, hey, you not played it? Well, you effing suck. I mean, not you effing suck, but like you should. You effing should. I mean, that's like gonna be like, I'm gonna like hold back that like reaction I just had. I'll just like, I wouldn't say that. I'll just like judge. I'll silently judge you and be like, you effing suck. But I'll be like, oh, you should play it. But like, that's just me. But that's how I feel about the Netflix prequel thing.
So let's get back to you dating for a second.
Okay.
So say you meet a gaming girl, all right, which is the best case scenario in all this, and she goes and hey, you want to play a game? And she goes, what game do you like? Oh, I like most games, but the game I really hate the most is Witcher. And you go Witcher 1, and you go no, Witcher 3, and you be like, get out of my car.
Yeah.
Get out of my car.
Deal breaker.
It's a deal breaker. Get out.
Deal breaker. I thought about that, dude. I was like, I will, I'm fine with, I mean, I talked about this earlier about the whole, like, being super old and, like, alone. But it's like, I'm fine with that. Because it's like,
you're fine.
I watched Zootopia. It's like one of my favorites. And I learned never settle. All right. So it's like, it's fine to have high standards because you'll never let yourself down. So there you go.
I've upped my standards. So up yours. There you go. By the way, that's the title of our podcast episode today. So
Of
there you go.
course.
I've upped my standards.
I
So
wasn't
up
gonna. I was
yours.
gonna title them anymore. I was just gonna keep numbering them. I mean, I
That's
can
fine.
do that. You want me
Uh,
to?
You do that. That's good. I've upped my standards. No, actually, we gotta change it. We've upped our
Oh, you
standards.
weren't here when I said it though. But I said like we're on the cusp of like a golden age in the streaming time because we have like awesome image properties that need to get adapted. Because Old Guard is like up there, man. I haven't watched it yet, but that trailer, dude. Just from the trailer alone, it's like I look at it, and I'm like, that looks effing awesome. So it's
Well,
like I'm looking forward to watching it. There's also another one I can't remember. It's like about a bank robbery, as like or not a bank robbery, but like a bunch of robbers or criminals that are like thieves that are robbing things. That's a whole words are hard. And then
was that when I was trying to get the dog back in the house
yes,
because it was
because
barking?
I
Okay.
said something and you didn't respond. I was like, oh, Buff must not be there, and I kept talking, and then so I was like, there's
You
that
caught
one.
me.
There's that one. There's the bank robbery thingy, and then I believe Paper Girls. Yes, just got greenlit by Amazon. So it's like, dude, if Saga gets greenlit, I mean, it's really weird because like before MCU, dude, I was like F live action adaptations, but like after
No.
MCU, it brought me back, man. It brought me back
Well,
of like Spider-Man 3, X-Men 3 garbage. Of like I hate comic book movies, and I just didn't watch movies for a long time after that because it
they
broke me.
brought the standard.
Yes, it raised the standards and just like they did it justice, dude. It's like they took their time and like gave it the respect it needed. It wasn't just like, oh, it's a comic movie, whatever, dude, and just like farted it out for money, like
See,
Steel or basically everything up to that point except for like Blade and like X-Men 1 and 2 are good. I like those. Spider-Man 1 and 2 I like those, but like, you know, for the most part everything up to that point was like garbage. So
well, like I said, they've upped the standards. So now that is the standard bearer of every show has to
yeah,
keep up with
yeah,
that,
it's like they set
or
the bar so high. It's like so great.
or they have to be relegated to your, like you're saying, your Spider-Man threes and all that, the other tripe and crap. I thought it was a good movie. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I don't know,
No,
dude. Do you really want to have this discussion? Do you really want
no,
to go there?
no,
Okay,
no, I don't. No, I
because
don't.
I was about to say
Move
that's a
on.
bad take.
Yeah, you
Because
know what else is
the whole
bad?
cafe dance sequence, why is that in there? Why is that a thing?
Spontaneity.
Spontaneity.
He knows how to dance. I do that sometimes too.
I
I
mean,
used to get
I
I
do
used,
enjoy the scene where like
I
him
usually
and
get
his
arrested, but
landlord and his landlord's daughter are just like calling people, and he's just being ridiculous. I thought that was a funny scene, and he's like, "Yeah, feed me the cake, feed me the cake."
feeding the cake,
It's like
feeding the cake.
what?
That's right.
I mean, I guess it was. I mean, yeah, spontaneity because he was being very like non Peter Parkery, so it's like his dark side came out, but it wasn't. It wasn't like a good representation of that. It was just like him being like weird bad, not like evil bad. So it's just like that's weird. So yeah.
You know what's bad? When the Brazilian president says he has mold in his lungs as his wife tests positive for COVID-19.
I did not see that.
Yeah, it just came down the wire today. So here's what the president said. I've just taken a blood exam. I'm a bit weak yesterday. I was a bit weak yesterday. They have also found a bit of an infection. I'm taking antibiotics now. It must have been those 20 days inside the house. We catch other things. I've caught mold in my lungs. It must be that. Not the COVID. Not at all. So there you go. So that's what we're dealing with, Tekken. Even outside of America, that's what we're dealing with because everybody wants to uh, avoid saying that they screwed up. They screwed the pooch on how they handled the coronavirus. Fauci, the doctor, said, "Oh, Europe did a much better job because they closed down everywhere except for
UK.
it wasn't Sweden.
Well,
What was the one?
It was Sweden. Sweden and the UK. Sweden was like, we're gonna do the
Herd.
or not herb,
The
the herd.
herbs.
We're gonna do herbs. Yes, it'll make us all better. We're gonna just like sit around and pass the pipe. But like they did
We're
the
feeling fine, man.
herd immunity. That's what they did in Sweden. Jeez.
Oh, Herb Cain died yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that.
What did you feel about that being a Republican who liked Trump?
What?
Well, he was a Republican that liked Trump. How do you feel about that?
That's a weird question. That's
And
like
the best
I
part, and the best
like
part
how
is
you
Trump.
say that kind of like feels I feel insulted. Like what I mean, just because
eh,
they're of like a different political perspective doesn't mean like, oh man, I'm so glad they're dead.
Here's the thing.
I mean, he's not my
Trump.
enemy, so I don't wish death upon him. So
No,
it's like,
no. But Trump said something nice to him.
hmm
But when Mr. Lewis passed away,
oh, I
said
saw.
nothing.
Yeah, I mean, he tweeted something out, but then he's like, I'm not gonna go pay my respects. So it's like, f him, dude. Whatever. Just like, whatever,
Well,
dude. I'm just like waiting for it to be November because it's just I'm so over this. It's just like.
just
But that's the
or
thing. It's like
or
it's so
January.
amazing because it's like every. It's just like this is the song that never ends. Of like, can it get any worse? It's just like it just. But it's just like you think there's no new low, but it's all there's always more room at the bottom. There's always something lower. It's just like it can never not be worse. It's so like
And Trump says, "Hold my spray tan." Here, hold my spray tan. I can get worse. There you go. I can't wait for the now hurricane seasons again. So
Oh,
is he
dude,
gonna get?
RPG tweeted this morning that it's gonna like go from I think category 1 to 2 when it goes onshore. I mean, it could get
Yeah,
even stronger. Who knows? But
worse.
like, yeah. So
But where will Trump put the marker? Is what I'm questioning. Is it gonna get into Mississippi again?
you never know. Maybe it could.
Just you never know. Life. It's funny. It's just funny. And all you can really do is sit back and laugh once in a while. That's for sure. All right. So, what else would you like to talk about in the last couple minutes we have
Have
today?
you watched anything on Netflix lately besides the
Besides
Altered Carbon?
pornography,
yeah.
I watched. I think we mentioned last time. Watched the entire show of Community, and I started watching the Monty Python documentary. It was broke down in parts, and that was so far so good. I've watched 2 episodes, and it's nice to know the history on how the gang got together. Now, have you ever watched any Monty Python?
Uh, yes.
What have you watched?
Never all the way through. I've just seen clips of it.
You should sit down and watch this movie, and it's the only one I want you to watch, and that is Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Is it on Netflix?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll look and see if it's on Netflix or Amazon
You,
then.
you, if it's on there, but watch that. That's my challenge. Not only to watch Skyrim this week, but to watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I will. Well, you're not going to play it. You're just going to watch it, and watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail, because I do consider that to be one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. Now you're saying, well, Thanos, and I say this one. It gives you everything you need. It gives you the laughs. It gives you the adventure. It gives you the absurdity. It gives you everything. And if you like me, you'll like Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Man, you saying Thanos, it's like I'm just gonna like mental
Thanos?
note next episode we're gonna talk about MCUs or something we're gonna talk about. But I don't like you said yeah. But
Oh,
I don't think
oh,
we have
and
time. So
in this Empire storyline that's going on, the big crossover,
hmm
big pile of shit. I have absolutely no interest in it. I read the X-Men number 10 with Hickman. Nice to see him back. It's a good story, and it deals with one of the Sumner kids. You know, the one that everybody forgot. And they're talking about how his powers have progressed and how he was a bad guy, and then well, you'll have to read it, but it's an interesting read. It was good, even though it was, let's just say, it was using a 3-ply bathroom tissue to wipe the shit that is the Empire. It's just I have no interest in it. It's like this is. And of course, everything, and don't get me started on this Forever Winter that's going to happen in DC, this big crossover, because that absolutely holds no interest in me either. So
I really feel like they should just like try like a 3-year stretch, no events, and see what happens, and just like tell
yeah,
stories. It's just
yeah,
like let's try that and see what happens, and not just like ruin things that are
all
tied into things.
all shows, every book will be canceled because this is what keeps this is because then they tie in like other books to tie in for this event, right? Just to kind of boost up their sales. That's what the events are for, right? It's to tell a story, but if you can kind of get people interested in other books, You're like, hey, we'll throw Venom in this or something like that for a crossover, and it's like, So it'll be very interesting to see how it ends because that's when I want it to end. That's the only interest I have is when it's over. It's like, okay, and of course the plant people are the bad people. Of course they are. Isn't that fantastic? That's right. If you hate, go out and burn a tree today, just to show them that they're the bad guys. That's right. Good. Light one up for the homies. That's right.
Oh my gosh! There's something I wanted to ask you now. I completely just. Oh! I remember now. Okay, so I think it was like an episode or two ago. You said something about like you played
Oh
GTA
God.
5, and you're
Never,
like,
never, never bring up something I've said in the past because I've already forgotten it. But that's okay.
well, you said something about GTA 5, and you're like, I played it for a while, and I was like, I just like didn't get into it. So like, how
Yeah.
far did you get? Because
Um, I got
did you get to play all your
into
characters?
no.
Okay.
I know the third one is the psychopath,
Mm-hmm.
and no. I weirdly enough, I just don't like doing bad things, and
Okay.
that
So
for
I
the
was like,
most part is.
why did you do it? Like that was like the best mechanically sound GTA game. Like the best driving,
Oh,
the best
absolutely.
shooting, the best like all that other stuff. Just
Yeah,
like all the gameplay
but
is great.
and the thing, but even in Skyrim, they're playing right now. I don't want to be the bad guy. I want to be the good guy, and it just like when they say, "Hey, you could steal this." Nope, I won't steal it. And it's but I, so it's just it just it. I just don't like it,
Okay.
and it's like this. That's quirky me. But if I'm a cowboy, I'll shoot anybody. So they figure that out.
So in the past, have you been into the GTA or like what?
No.
Okay, because I was gonna say because like I'm kind of confused on like why you
Oh,
would.
sorry. GTA 4. I played a lot more GTA 4 than I did GTA 5,
Okay.
and mostly because I like going on dates. Oh, Nico. It's the only thing I can remember from that
I
game.
mean, that being said, dude, GTA 4 is like my favorite as far as like the story because it is just a very good take on the satire of the American dream. It is actually very culturally relevant at this time to play like that game if you go back and play.
Oh
Because you're
yeah.
an immigrant, New York City, and it's just like the American dream, but not so much.
Oh,
Very
Nico.
relevant.
Yeah. And if life was just like GTA 4, I'd be a happier man. Oh, Nico. Bye bye, baby. That's
I
right.
thought you were gonna say something about like, oh, they all just take place in America, so I'm just like, whatever, just in the Americas again, doing America stuff, killing people, shooting people,
No,
stealing things.
eh, like like in GTA 5, you get the kids that you want to smack around. Oh, Dad, I'm going out and get my picture taken on a boat. And like, ugh, I have enough problems with my own kids. I don't need to have problems with my video game kids.
That was the funny part too.
Mhm.
Is like you start and he's like in therapy, and it's like, yeah, this is
Oh
what this
yeah,
is. I really like that take on like GTA as far as like the theme is like in like for New York City, fresh off the boat, living the dream or not,
yeah.
satire on the American dream, and it's like GTA 5 is like you've lived the life, but was it that great? And what has it done to you? It's like you're
Yep.
in therapy.
Yep.
Like, I don't know why I
Your
don't really
kid,
like her. These
your
kids are driving
kids
me
hate you.
insane.
Yep.
My effing job. Just.
So the wife is doing something with the yoga diet. Oh yeah, it's a great time. It's a great time had by all. Ah. All right, Mister. Well, did we save the universe today?
Of course we did, because we're not dead, so we must have did something right.
Absolutely. And if we're still alive the next time you hear from us, then you've survived it too. There you go. We'll work on it. We'll work on an end line here. But yeah, that's good. Sign us off there, big
All
sir.
right, so I just want to say, also,
Oh God,
also
here
Netflix,
comes.
check out Black Mirror. It is like is
Yes,
amazing.
yes,
It is
yes,
like the the best show, one of the best shows, because it's like I got my top five. I'll save it for next time, because it like Buff
yes.
caught me off guard here talking about Netflix, but like, whoo
That's
man,
my job. That's my
effing
job.
effing or just like just to go back down the cyberpunk rabbit hole next time, because but yeah, effing Black Mirror, check it out if you haven't. Also the Netflix Defender stuff, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, Punisher,
Mm.
Defenders.
I gotta play. I gotta remember that. I gotta remember to watch. I gave up on Iron Fist,
Dude,
but
I haven't seen I stopped watching after I watched Defenders. I didn't go back and watch season 2 of Luke Cage or season 2 of Iron Fist or season 2 of Daredevil or no season 3 Daredevil or Jessica Jones. So
It was a fad that burnt out,
I mean
and
that's
that's why and
it kind of
they
is like
canceled
the
it.
MCU effect though. It's like when it gets to like the moment when like everything comes together, you just like lose your I don't know. It was so
It,
good
it
when it like finally everything happened. It's just like, ooh, how can you top that? Like if it, like in game, it's just like how do you come back from that? And like the next thing is Black Widow. What? Like,
it's
dude.
it's it's just like okay, that's it's just like sex. It, you appreciate the build up, going out and all that, and then the deed is done, and then what's you go, thanks for nothing. So there you go. And then she's jumping off the second story balcony to get out the door. So you know what I'm saying? Because you've locked the door. So that's how it is.
Oh well, my virgin ears appreciate that wisdom.
Thank you. You're more than welcome. Now, just make sure if you're not, you leave like a, you put your, you buy another inflatable bed mattress, and you put that on the ground. So when they jump out of the second story window, they can land right on there, and then you're all set. Dropping, and if they and you tell them that if you're sneaking out instead of going through the front door, if you jump off the balcony, when you hit the mattress, roll. It's much better. Roll when you hit the mattress, and then out you go. I've saved many lives by that expertise advice I give. One way or the other.
One way or the other.
One way or the other.
Also,
All right,
a
mister.
nice shout out to Witcher on Netflix because that's kind of what like drew me in. I was like, I need more,
Yeah.
or would like to
Yeah.
know more. Starship Troopers reference.
I, I need more boobs. Yeah. And then you went right to Altered Carbon. Yeah.
Whatever.
There you go. Which I got to finish right after this, so
Ooh.
I'll finish episode 1, and then maybe when we talk in a couple months, I'll be finished episode 2. That's
Okie
how many
dokie.
episodes? How many episodes in a season? Anyways, it's an hour long, so I'm gonna say there's what 6.
Uh, I don't know off the top of my head, dude. 6 to 10. I'm not sure.
So I'm only on episode 1. So the special effects are pretty good. Does it turn into like a lot less going into the like episode 2 and all that? They
No,
blow the
it stays
budget on the
good.
first
It
one.
stays
Thing.
good.
Yeah,
First
okay.
season stays good.
All of a sudden they're talking into tin cans by the end of episode 4 because they don't have a budget.
Oh man. All right. So yeah, that's it for TKKN and Buff Save the Universe for July 31st, 2020.
We
We've been
made it
saved,
through another
everybody.
month.
Go have fun and stuff. Yeah.
Wear a mask. Wear a mask and protect yourself.
Until you see or hear from us again, we're now signing off.